Hi everyone, and today in this video we are going to read about Capri Global Capital, and we will try to understand that why exactly Quant Mutual Fund has done a new addition in their portfolio. And before starting this video, I want to ask you a question, that should I do a live session where I will talk about how I cleared the CFA level 1 and 2 in first attempt, and also how did I get into the equity research role. So write down in the comment section whether you want a live session or a pre-recorded video. And just a quick disclaimer that today's video is not a buy or sell recommendation. So let's start with the report. So Capri Global is one of the diversified NBFC in India, and they started their operations in 2011, and now they have a loan book across MSME, affordable housing, gold loans, and also in the construction finance across the North and the West India. And if you majorly see their presence geographic wise, they are present in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Also recently, they started micro loan against property and solar finance under the MSME segment. And as of FY25, if we take a look at their AUM, it is currently 22,800 crore rupees. So they also have two subsidiaries which they fully own. The first is the Capri Global Housing Finance, and the second one is the Capri Loan Car Platform. And from FY22 till FY25, they have done an addition of 994 of branches, and currently with a tally of 1,111 branches. And out of all the branches they currently have, 803 consist of the gold loan segment. And after this increase of branches over the geographic areas, they are expecting that their ROA is going to increase by 3.8% from FY26 till FY28. Now if we take a quick look at the shareholding pattern, so promoters have 60% of stake, then FIs have 4.72%, then DIs are having 20.5%, and lastly the public is holding 14.8% of stake in the company. And now if we take a look at the image I have attached on the right hand side, so this is the history of Capri Global, where we can see that in 2011 they raised 445 crores. Then in 2013, they entered into the secured MSME lending with 4 branches. Then they also entered into the housing finance in 2017. Then in 2021, they also started new car loans, and at that time they had 90 branches. In 2022, they also started their gold loan business, and they also invested 150 crores for Capri Global Housing Finance. And lastly, if we take a look at 2025, now they started micro loan against property. So from 2011 till 2025, during a span of 12 years, their AUM grew 54x. And now let's go to the next segment where we will see the industry overview. So here we can see that in FY19, the NBFC market was at 24 trillion, and in 2024 it came to 43 trillion with a CAGR growth of 12% during those years. And it is expected that from FY24 till FY27, it is going to grow at a CAGR of 15 to 17%, and it will reach around 65 to 69 trillion. And if we take a look at the image I have attached on the right hand side, so these are the different type of segments in the lending business. And here we can see that the MSME loan, which is currently at 20%, it is expected to grow to 24% till FY27. So this is a segment which is expected to grow the most, except for that if you look at other segments, it is almost the same. And now let's come to the next part, and we will see the revenue segment in Capri Global. So the first revenue segment is the gold loans, where we can see that it consists of 35.2% of the whole AUM, and the yield they generate in the gold loans is 19.9%. The next revenue segment is the MSME loans, which also include the micro LAP and the solar loans. So currently the AUM in the MSME is 52.8 billion, which consists of 23.1%, and the yield they generate in the MSME loan is 15.4%. Next they have housing finance, which consists of 52 billion of AUM, and it is around 22.8% of the total AUM, and the yield in the housing finance is 12.7%. And lastly, if we take a look at the construction finance, the AUM is 41 billion, and it consists of 18.1% of the whole AUM. So the yield they generate in the construction finance is 17.5%. So to summarize this table, we can see that the gold loans and the construction finance loans, these two segments generate the most yield. And now let's take a look at the image I have attached on the right hand side. So here we can see that the MSME AUM is expected to grow from 53 billion to 87 billion, which is a growth CAGR of 10.6%. Second, if we take a look at the gold loans, currently the AUM is 80 billions. It is expected to be 139 billions by FY28, and the expected CAGR growth is 12% from FY26 till FY28. Third, if we take a look at the housing finance, consisting of 52 billion of AUM, it is expected to be around 86 billion till FY28 and with expected CAGR growth of 10.5%. And lastly, if we take a look at the construction finance, which is consisting of 41 billions in FY25, it is expected to be around 75 billion in FY28 with the expected CAGR growth of 14.3%. So to summarize this table, we can say that the gold loan and the construction finance loan is expected to grow the fastest. And now if we take a look at the different sources of borrowings and the rate at which they borrow, so in FY24 bank borrowings consisted of 87.5% and now they have reduced it to 83.7%. So decreasing their dependency on the bank borrowings will definitely help them improving the margins. And second, if we take a look at the NABARD, so in FY24 it consisted of 3.7% of the borrowings and now currently it is 7.4%. So just a small detail I want to share with you. When I was working in my last company, so NABARD is actually one of the biggest client of them, where Knight Fintech is providing the application for NABARD. And now let's come to the next segment where we will do the financial analysis and the peer comparison part. So in FY25 they had net interest income of 1332 crores and it is expected that in FY28 it is going to be around 2500 crores. Then in FY25 they had profit before tax of 633 crores and it is expected that it is going to be around 1800 crores in FY28. Then if we take a look at the profit after taxes, which is currently at 478 crores, it is expected to be around 1340 crores in FY28. And lastly, if we take a look at the diluted EPS, which is currently 5.8 in FY25, it is expected that it is going to be around 14 in FY28. So here we can clearly see that the expectations are that their earnings are going to grow more than double till FY28. And now let's take a look at one of the very interesting data point of Capri Global, that in the balance sheet, so currently they have book value of 52 in FY25 and it is expected that it is going to be around 98.4 in FY28. And now if we take a look at the image I have attached on the right hand side, so here if we take a look at some of the ratios, so for example currently their cost of funds is 9.8% and in FY28 it is expected to be around 9%. And second, if we take a look at their cost to income ratio, so currently it's 63% in FY25 and it is expected that it is going to come down to 50.1 in FY28. Even if we take a look at their credit growth forecasting, so in FY25 their credit growth was 36%, and if we take a look at FY26 and FY27, it is going to be almost 20% of credit growth, and in FY28 it is expected to grow at 15%. And now let's do a valuation ratio analysis of Capri Global. So here we can see that in FY25 they have a PE of 31, and if we take a look at their forward PE of FY28, it is trading around 13 PE. So that is something which is very undervalued. And now comes the very interesting data point of Capri Global. So if we take a look at the price to book ratio, which is currently at 3.5, which is way lower than Bajaj Finance and Cholamandalam, and it is expected that in FY28 it is trading at 1.8 forward PB ratio. So according to me, this might be one of the main reason that why Quant has done a new edition of Capri Global. And now if we compare Capri Global with other NBFCs in this segment, so here we can see that Capri Global is one of the smallest NBFC if we compare with Bajaj Finance, Cholamandalam and Shriram Finance. And if we compare PB ratio of all the companies, so Capri has 3.52, whereas if we take a look at Bajaj Finance, it is currently trading at 6 PB ratio, which is very higher than Capri Global. But a very interesting data point is that if we take a look at Shriram Finance, it is currently trading at 2.15 PB ratio. So that is way lower compared to all the other NBFCs. So in PB ratio wise, we can say that Shriram Finance is dominating over here. And next, if we take a look at ROCE, so Capri's currently have 11.1% and Bajaj Finance has 11.3%. So here we can see that ROCE wise, all the companies have almost the same number. Next, if we take a look at ROE, so Capri has 11.7%, whereas if we take a look at Bajaj Finance, they have 19.2%, then Chola has 19.7% and Shriram has 15.5%. So here we can say that the Bajaj and the Chola, they're completely dominating. And next, if we take a look at the PEG ratio, so Capri has 1.52, whereas if we take a look at Chola and Shriram Finance, so Chola has 0.95 and Shriram has 0.55. So that is very low and very great compared to all the other companies. And lastly, if we take a look at the P ratio, so Capri has 37, whereas if we take a look at Shriram Finance, they are trading at 14.8 of P. So to summarize this table, we can say that Capri is doing good, but if we compare with Shriram Finance, so they are completely dominating. And now let's come to the next segment where we will see the key details discussed during the last con call. So the first point is about the medium term guidance which the company has given. So they have said that in FY26 they're expecting to grow at 27 to 30% CAGR growth in AUM, and also they're aiming for 50,000 crores of AUM by FY28. The next point is about the ROE guidance which they have given, that they're going to give 16+% of ROE by FY28, and where we can see that there is going to be a 1.5 to 2% of incremental ROE, which is mainly from the fee income segment, which consists from the car loan, insurance and the co-lending part. And then the management has also said that they're highly optimistic and they're also expecting that they're going to see a huge growth in the retail credit and in the gold lending segment. And because of this reason, they're expecting a good operating leverage to kick in the next few years. Then in the next point, so recently they have done a QIP of 2000 crores, and along with that we can also see that they incorporated a wholly owned subsidiary with the name of Capri Global Financial Services. Now let's take a look at some of the risk in the company. So the first point is about the gold loan portfolio, that in FY25 it consists of 35.2% of the whole AUM. So obviously the gold loan is very concentrated in their AUM. The second point is about the banks, which comprise 86% of the borrowings we saw earlier. And then also there is intense competition in this NBFC segment, along with economic slowdown, which is also one of the main risks in this segment. And now let's come to the last segment where we will do the technical analysis part. So here we can see that during the COVID part, it was trading around 30 rupees, and then it was trading at a very good upward momentum till FY23. So during FY23, it was trading at the same price which it is currently trading right now. But the main difference is that if we take a look at FY23, it was trading at a PE of 73, and if we take a look at 2025, so currently it is trading at 32 PE. So here we can clearly say that a good PE re-rating has happened. So of course the stock has been consolidating for a very long time after giving a high of 281 rupees, but I can definitely say that it is looking good for the coming future. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this detailed analysis of Capri Global was helpful, and write down in the comment section that what do you think which is the best company in the NBFC segment. Until then, see you in the next video.